Finally, I am back. I haven't posted anything since, I don't know if it was October, November of 2024 when I did my final episode of the G2G experience. It has not been a great winter. It has not been a great spring at all. I had an issue with my movie maker. There were a lot of things I wanted to upload, and my movie maker was just not cooperating. So if you see this episode, it means my movie maker is working. I had a little problem with a knee injury. It wasn't a cycling accident or anything like that. It was just something really dumb that I had to deal with. It had me worried. So we have a lot to cover in this Jim's Having an Episode number 12. And I want to thank everybody for joining in. And I'm sorry it's taken so long, but I think we got things moving along now. So I want to talk about, actually we're going to go to the Outdoor Adventure Show in Toronto. We'll do a little bit of walking around. We'll be talking to some vendors. And at the end of that, I really get into talking about my movie maker 2025 and my injury. And a little after that, I think I do a little bike ride to the beach and talk about more stuff. And the cool thing is, the next couple of days, actually I think the next 3 days, the temperature is going up to 36 degrees. I don't think I've ever lived at a time where we had any extreme heat like that. So the cool thing with this first segment is that you're going to see some snow. Which honestly might not be such a bad thing. So we're going to go to the Outdoor Adventure Show and then we're going to move on. Jim's Having an Episode number 12. I'm at the Toronto International Centre and it's the Outdoor Adventure Show. So let's check it out. Cool. Scuba diving. Pretty much this whole aisle here is for destinations. So if you need information on a destination, you can get it here. Ooh, Rocky Mountain bicycles.
It goes faster than that.
It's so much boring and don't believe everything you see on TV. Just like show, which is really boring, but I like that kind of show because it's more informative, educational. It's not about my ego or, some baloney like that.
Just take like 100 of them.
Or something even worse. But we're not here to learn about that today.
So that's what a 16 looks like, eh?
Has anyone here ever been in a situation where start text and helicopter?
I know this map all too well. Espanola, Sault Ste. Marie, the Great Northern Highway to Wawa. And for those of you who don't know where White River is, that's White River there, north of Superior. Cool. One of the best rides I've ever done. This is kind of neat.
And we found it!
Nowadays, yes.
Man, that's cool. Now this is the Canadian Outdoor Equipment booth here. They haven't been here in a while. I'm not sure why. I don't know if I'm going to interview them, but it's nice to see them back. I am standing in what's called a hot tent. So for the people who like to go backcountry in the wintertime, that's cool. This tent does seem kind of small. It looks like a 1-2 person, maybe 3, but they do come a lot bigger and pretty cool. By Esker. Awesome. Look who else is back after, 3-4 year hiatus?
Thanks, guys.
It's been the last few years.
No, we're always around.
We
are here.
No, but
No, we're always here.
my brothers almost gave up.
It's when the show was cancelled, we were not
Right,
here.
right.
But usually every year we're here.
see, I got a new
with
one.
new products, new stuff. So
Okay, so you're going to be at the Sportsman Show?
100%.
Okay, I thought
Yeah, bring it in. We'll make it work.
I had the old style holder.
Okay.
It had the, and then
kind
you
did
could
you get?
turn it.
We got
So
an
it was on
E18R.
it was on a bar.
It's tiny.
On my bike.
It's fucking.
And I had the strobe on.
Light up the ceiling.
And I had the strobe facing up, so this end was facing
Probably
down.
dead
I don't know how or
exactly.
why, but that came
I
off.
think there's actually a
But it was gone.
plastic dig at the battery at the back. This battery, you take the battery out.
Each light has the
Okay,
serial
mine might
number.
have a magnetic.
I'll give you the card.
35, yeah.
Email me the serial number, because by the serial number I will know which bottom you need.
Okay.
And I will bring it to the Sportsman Show,
We'll see you there.
and we will swap it, no problem.
Okay. No, all my brothers will be here too, so.
Yeah, no problem at all.
All right.
Just email me the serial
Yes.
number.
Okay. All right. Where is
140. 140. And it comes with a set of free accessories.
Phoenix Tactical is a high-end flashlights. They, I use them with all my equipment. I got regular flashlights, I got spotlights, and I also have tactical lights for my bike, which are meant for my bike. So, pretty cool. Nice to see that they're back too. Okay, I'm talking with Steve from the London Paddle Shop, and I got a question for him. I have a 17-foot Prospector. It's Tough Stuff Expedition. It's for me and my son here to do trips together. And but there are times I'm going to want to do solo trips. What do you recommend for a guy like me
who can't really pick up one of these on his own anymore.
Right.
I mean, strong enough, but it's pretty much my knees and things like that. So, what do you have, model-wise or composite-wise that
What you had described, probably a Prospector 15 might fit the bill. A little bit lighter for you. Still two people can paddle it quite easily, but you can also paddle it by yourself quite easily. You just turn it around so it's bouncy. So you're going to get that weight down. You're still going to have the nice width of a Prospector and also the nice depth.
So I can stick with the same composite.
Yes, same composite and the same model, so just a smaller version of it.
Now, did you say 14?
A 15.
15.
We do have a 14, but it's a solo.
Right. Well, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to do some solo trips.
So that's why I say, well, a 15 would work for both. A solo is our brand new 14. Prospector 14, it's about 35 pounds. We do have
That was my next question.
We have a removable yoke that will pop right out.
Okay.
If you want. Very easy to paddle. It's got the similar depth to this, and we tried to keep it under the Prospector series. We do have the width, the depth. You can carry a deer, dog, someone. You could probably put someone smaller in the front if you wanted to, but it's more designed for a solo canoe. It handles wonderfully. It's quick. It's stable. Easy to throw on the car. Pretty well everything you want to do. It will do it. There's numerous videos out there on this.
That's actually perfect because I learned firsthand that a 17-foot Prospector is a little bit overkill when you're soloing. So, in fact, I'm trying to load the canoe so I get the right balance and keep the wind from spinning me around in circles. So, I want to thank you very much for talking to you, and I will see you down at the shop one day soon.
Look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you so much.
So moving right along, I want to talk a little bit about 2025. I've decided this year I am going to do another trip to Temagami. So you're probably wondering, well, if you already done Temagami, why are you going back? I did Temagami in 2017. And in 2017, I never had a YouTube channel. So all the filming that I did it for personal use, just for home use. I didn't have an audience. But now that I do, I'm going to do this trip one more time because in 2017, I did not document this trip properly. It was all over the place. And when I tried to put it together and put it on my channel, it was horrible. You know, there was no filming. It was about 400 kilometers worth of trip where there was no filming, and I didn't think that was right. But I mean, again, I didn't have an audience. So this year, I'm going to do it. I'm going to document it properly. I'm going to try to do a lot of what I've done in 2017. Also, I am going to take 24 days to do this. Now, 24 days, I usually set aside 17 days for any extended trip, but I'm taking 24 this year. My goal is to get to Temagami, and then with whatever time I have left, I'm going to see just how far north I can get. I'm just going to go. I'm going to run wild once I leave Temagami. I'm just going to head and see how far I can get. The only problem with all this is that I recently had a little bit of an injury. And I don't want to get into all the circumstances that led to that. No, I didn't have an accident, but it's kind of complicated. But it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It's been sore now for a month. It's just now getting to the point where I'm able to walk occasionally without a brace, because I had two braces on. One was more of a compression to keep my knee together, and the other brace that was on top was just sort of like a splint to keep my leg straight. So the healing process, there's no aggravation going on. I am making a recovery, and I was worried that I might not be able to do this trip this year. I rank it up there with my last year's rib injury that took me 6-7 weeks to recover. So this has put a huge dent into my winter training. I remember talking about winter training. Last year I talked about winter training. I even have Jim's having an episode on winter training. This year's been horrible. Circumstances beyond my control. So I think come spring, I'm going to have to do the rehab. I'm going to have to be out on my bike, park the truck for the summer, get my body moving. Quite frankly, I think I put on a lot of weight. So it's looking promising right now. And this trip, if I can pull it off, should turn out to be about 1,000 kilometers to Temagami. And then however far I get after that, it could be 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 kilometers. I don't know. I've never had 24 days. Some said, Jim, why so long? There's nothing wrong with doing a day trip, maybe a weekend trip to your local campground, do some bike camping. That's what it's all about. You're doing it, right? I find when I'm out on the road for a week, the week goes by quick. It doesn't really sink in the adventure department. 24 days, I do talk a lot about that. There's a lot of freedom, just living outdoors, mental health reduces, like it's just absolutely amazing. I'm going to take 24 days and I'm going to live outside. So, yeah, hopefully maybe 3 weeks leading up to Labor Day weekend. The other thing I'm going to try to do too, I know I'm forgetting some things, but I am doing this unscripted. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try wherever I can to come on live so that people can actually see me as I go and not wait until fall for the premiere of the movie to come out. So my filming has gotten better. I can't say much for today. Today, I've interviewed a few people and my camera is off in whatever direction and I'm not even sure I did a good job, but it is what it is. But my filming on my trips have gotten better to the point where I'm producing more files each and every day. Back in early days, after a trip, I might have maybe up as much as 150 files. My last trip was only 7, 8, 9 days, and I had 350 files. So I can't imagine how many files I'm going to have on a 24-day expedition. So that's pretty much where we're at. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I've talked about my injury. We took a tour of the Outdoor Adventure Show. I wanted to come on and touch base because I haven't been able to after my G2G experience. So hopefully I'll come back on one more time and see where we're at. I'll just do a little blurb at home, and we're done here for today, so I'm going to head home and start editing this and start thinking about next year or this summer, because I'm really, really motivated right now. I'm just I consider the Outdoor Adventure Show the first day of spring. To me, that's what that is. So to make it this far into winter and be so close to spring and seeing all these great vendors out here is really motivating. So anyway, I'm gonna call it. Wait, we're not done yet. Still a few things I want to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the Outdoor Adventure Show. I probably didn't film it very well, but I like going to it every year, whether I need information or not, or if I need equipment or not. It just gives you that feeling of spring. And boy, was I motivated for spring. Actually, going through a little bit of withdrawal. But I was not expecting this. What a beautiful day today. So I thought, why don't I try to get back on my bike again? This is all pertaining to my knee. So I had to go through 4 tests. The first one, was I able to swing my leg over my bike without aggravating it? Because quite honestly, I don't know where I'm at. This is a significant knee injury. And I passed it. I was able to get on my bike. So the
The second thing, the second test I had to overcome was I able to push down on the pedal? And sure enough, I passed test number 2. Now I'm really happy. Test number 3. How far can I ride? I mean, I haven't been on my bike all winter, done no training because of my knee. So how far could I ride today? I'm 20 kilometers in today. I'm down at my stomping ground here at the beach, and I am feeling pretty darn good. So I am happy. I'm getting there, and I'm back on the bike again. I guess you could say I could take down that "sorry, we're closed" sign and put up the "I am now open." So that's cool. The fourth test and the final test will be, what will I have done to my knees? Will I feel it tomorrow? So that's going to have to wait till tomorrow. But right now, I am happy. I am thrilled. I'm at the 20 kilometer mark today. It's so nice to be back on my bike again. Oh man, I waited a long time for this. So it'll be 20 kilometers going back home. So I should do about 40 today. It's going to be a little tougher going back because the wind is from the south. Lake Ontario, that's north. That's south. So, yeah. Pretty happy with today. Pretty happy. So, the other things I want to talk about, I'll talk about when I get back home. There's been a lot of developments in my equipment. So, when I get back, we'll talk about that. Cool.
So the next thing I want to talk about is Mountain Equipment Co-op. That is my go-to outdoor equipment store. I got great news. Mountain Equipment Co-op, or as it stands right now, it's Mountain Equipment Company, is back in Canadian hands. Mountain Equipment Co-op began in 1971. A group of mountain climbers wanted an outlet where they can get their climbing gear a lot easier and sell this gear to all their members. $5 membership and you're in. So as the years went on, stores opened up across the country, and back in 2022, or was it 2020? I think 2019 going into 2020, Mountain Equipment Co-op was falling on harder times financially. They ended up selling their business to an American firm. And this was not only because of finances, but COVID had a lot to do with it as well. And we've been carrying on the name from Mountain Equipment Co-op to Mountain Equipment Company up until this year. This year, it has changed hands. It's back in Canadian ownership. So, an iconic Canadian firm is back in Canadian hands, and man, that is great. Pretty much like the Hudson's Bay Company, which was founded in the early 1600s. It came under American ownership, and it appears as though, and I don't have any updates, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be back in Canadian ownership too as well. But as it stands right now, a lot of these stores have closed down, and I think only a select few are actually still open. So I don't know what's going on with all that, but I'm hoping that Mountain Equipment returns their name to Mountain Equipment Co-op, because it is a co-op. Now, what's next? Outdoor Adventure Show, my physical condition. I'm feeling good. Over the last 4 months, my knee has gotten better. The odd crackling or snap, crackle, and pop in my knee every once in a while doesn't hurt. but my knee feels a lot better, and my training this spring, like I said, when I'm training, I'm analyzing my body. I'm doing a full, what do you call it? You put your car on the on the dyno, and they do a service check. So that's what I've been doing. I've been analyzing my feet, my knees, my shoulders, and just me in general, and even the power behind my riding. And I'm happy. I think right now, it being June, mid-June, my body is at the minimum of where I need to be in 49 days when I set out on my 24-day adventure. So I'm feeling good. So we covered mountain equipment, 2025. I believe we talked about Temagami. Like I said, I've set a lot aside, a lot of days for this. Temagami will be my end point, but I will continue on just to see how far I can get. And I might even include Quebec in this trip, because that would just be another something, another film feather in my helmet. So something I could say I've actually did was actually ride my bike to the province of Quebec. That would just take 2 days out of my trip. So, and my trip in general, I am going to be retracing a lot of my route there, but there's going to be some changes. A lot of these changes will be designed to cut down on the amount of wasted days I'm putting into this trip. So I'm trying to have as much time possible to cover as much ground as possible. And I will not be pre-booking campsites along this trip or for this trip, for the simple reason it's going to be a long one, and if at any time I fall a day short or I fall a day behind, all my booked campsites will be gone. And that's like a lot of money gone right there. So I will not pre-booking. I will arrive at these campgrounds, and hopefully they'll have a site for me as I go along. Once I get further enough north, I can probably rely on Crown Land a little bit more. So that's 2025. What else? All right, equipment update. And before I get into that, I headed down to Main Cycling Sports, an iconic bike shop here in Hamilton. I used to work there once. And I did a little bit of commentary there. So over to you, Jim.
The iconic Main Cycling Sports here in Hamilton.
Cool. Thanks, Jim. All right, it's crunch time. We're just under 2 months before my trip. Today is June 13. See, I'm getting better at it. I've been practicing that all winter. Yeah, we got a lot of equipment and a lot of maintenance to do on my bike, but we're not going to do that until after July Canada Day long weekend. So no point putting all this stuff on now. I'll still have a month to break this stuff in and be ready to go. Doing this right, timing is everything. So what do we got going on here? As I talked about in the house, new chain ring. That chain ring came from Sault Ste. Marie, Belarusian bike shop. And if I haven't explained this already, Shimano has changed the bolt patterns on these rings. So if I was not able to find one of these, I'd have to get a whole new crank set, and you know what? It's not in the budget. So yeah. New rear cog, brand new. Also, new chain. I've carried this chain around for my last 10 trips. Just gives me a peace of mind. If you ever snap a chain for any reason, your drivetrain is everything. So that gives me peace of mind. Also, my panniers. I have 2 that just came in. I was not expecting them until July, but they are here. So what I got is, they're all black. That's just some sort of weird color wrapping in there. But yeah, brand new panniers for the front. Badly needed. My other ones are done. They're cooked. So 11 to 12 years of those panniers, not too bad. I did order 4 of them, but we do not know if and when the other 2 are going to come. So the 2 that I have on the back of my bike will survive another trip. They need a little bit of work, but they're in a lot better shape than the ones I had on the front. The ones that I had on the front were dry bags. They're peeling, they're not dry bags anymore, and a lot of the gluing that was done on that is coming apart. The bags are just garbage, they're useless now. Surprised I made it through my G2G experience with those ones. Also, new tires, and even have the reflective strip right around the tire. So yeah, pretty cool. Everything is here. Everything is ready to go. It was sooner than I thought, but I'm still going to wait till July to have this done. Once the good guys here at Maine Cycle and Sports, you know what? I used to be an employee here. But yeah, the guys here, they're going to fix me up. And I want to do a shout out for Maine Cycle and Sports because this is the go-to bike shop. And actually, there's been a lot of closures in the Hamilton, Toronto area. And Maine Cycle and Sports is going strong. So I can't wait till this gets done. I can't wait to go. So anyway, back to you, Jim. All right, thanks, Jim, for that on-the-spot report. The only problem is you missed out a couple of things. I had to pick up new rims this year, or a new rim. I didn't get a front one. The front one's fine. The back rim, I got the old one here, and it was the last day of my G2G experience. I noticed some sounds, some noises, something wasn't right, and after I've been back for a while, I kind of took a close look at my rims, and what's happening is the rim is splitting right down the middle. So what was happening was that these spokes were actually starting to come through the rim. Thank God I made it back, because I don't carry spare rims with me. So new rim. I did get one for the front. The front's fine. They don't match, but this bike is a tool and not a showpiece. It's put together so that it'll get the job done. So that's it for that. There's got to be at least, geez, well over 20,000 kilometers on this thing. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe about 7,500 expedition kilometers. So, yeah, that's that. It's done. The other thing I didn't mention was, well, yeah, I did mention I'm going to have new panniers. I don't know if my rear ones are coming yet, or if they come. I do have my old ones are still good on the back. My front ones that I've used for the last 12, 13 years, horrible shape. These are dry bags, and I probably mentioned this a lot. They're not too dry anymore. Everything's getting wet. All the coating is flaking off. Also, this part here, the top of this bag, which I zip shut like that, it is all but separated. All this has come apart right around the bag. So what I did was I went and I put little shoe eyelets in all around the bag temporarily, so that I could actually use it when I ride to and from work. And when I ride to and from work, we have an escarpment here to climb every day. And this is good for work purposes now. I mean, everything here was glued together. Even the pockets are coming off. Like, I don't know if you can see that. Pockets coming off. It's just, you know, it's just, man, these things are done and they won't survive another trip. So, new bags. Woohoo! Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the bike shop because I got so many files on the computer right now to go through that I can't go through every one of them and make sure I don't repeat myself. So if I am repeating myself, just bear with me, and it is what it is. Like I said, I got a whole new drivetrain, which is going to be fantastic. I only needed one ring because I don't use the big one really all that much, and I rarely use the small one. If there's a hill that I typically can ride, I put it down to the smallest ring. But generally, the middle ring, like there's 3 rings here, I'm in that ring maybe 90-95% of the time. So after 13 years, that ring needed replaced. It's worn, the chain is has stretched, and the rear cog is pretty much done as well. It's pretty worn down. Now, the problem with ordering that chain ring was that they're hard to find now. This chain ring has a 5-bolt assembly pattern here, and Shimano went ahead and changed it to a 4-bolt, which means good luck trying to find chain ring to fit that. If I could not find a chain ring somewhere in Canada, then I would have to replace the entire cranks here, which is not in the budget. I just, no, I couldn't get a whole new crank set. I just, no. So we went looking. We found one out in British Columbia. There was one out there. But Belarusian Bike Shop in Sault Ste. Marie, where I got my pedals. That doesn't sound good. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to look into that. They had 3. They had 3. So I called them on the phone. I said, send me 2. I only need 1. But I thought, okay, we'll send me 2. So they sent it by a courier, which I don't know if I should mention their name or not. You know who you are, Canpar. A couple of months later, I was looking into what happened to my my package, and they lost it. So I was back on the phone with Belarusian Bike Shop, who had 1 left, and they said, well, it's a good thing you didn't order all 3, because you'd be out of luck. So they actually sent it by another courier, and it got here in just 2 days. All that stuff is down at the bike shop, so that early July, Main Cycle and Sports can go to work on all that and get my bike ready to go. And I'll have a month to ride on it. So if anything happens, let all the breakdowns happen now, or maybe things need to be broken in, and so that before I go, everything can be fixed up. I'd rather find out things that go wrong now than when I'm actually out there. So I'm giving myself a month to pound the hell out of this bike and have it ready and make sure it's all ready to go. I don't think there's anything else here. The equipment, man, new panniers, woohoo! And like I said, I'm getting 4, but I don't know if the back 2 are going to be here in time. So if they are not here in time, I do have a backup. Okay, I do have my old ones. They will survive another trip. They're not dry bags, but they are getting worn, and a little bit some holes on the bottom which I can patch. But they are still in pretty much a good shape. And if I decide I don't want to use these, I pick these up. These are really cheap bags, but they seem to be really good. And they're by color too, yellow. These are dry bags. They're pretty cheap. They were like 75 bucks a bag. I have not. I've just recently got these, and I don't know if what they're going to be like. Are they going to fall apart after a couple of weeks? I don't know. But I am using these in replacements for my front ones just to go to and from work. So the ones I had on the front, which are garbage, gone. Using these for training and to and from work. The panniers that I did buy, they were about, I don't know, about 150 bucks a piece. So they're 600 bucks right there on panniers alone. And they're very high end. So that's good. What else? Wow. I think that's it. I think I've covered everything. So, that's it for Jim's Having an episode number 12. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank everybody for being patient. I don't like a lot of time between videos. I like to post something. I've tried to post a documentary or like a compilation of my canoe trips. I tried to do a 10th anniversary edition of bike packing throughout the years. Every time I completed it in the editing room, the movie maker, everything was coming up blank. Bits and pieces here and there. It was shot all to hell. I was quite angry because some of these videos could take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours to make. And I know this one I'm making now, so far it's taken me all weekend. And now I'm going to hit the editing room and try to have this out. If not tonight, then maybe tomorrow, which is Sunday. So, yeah, I'm going to even try to do some riding tomorrow. I have never ridden in 36 degree heat. I don't know what 36 degrees is in Fahrenheit. Oh my God, I don't need my other glasses, but it's got to be well over 100, 105 degrees. So I'm going to try riding. I just want to see if I could ride in that kind of heat. I'll have my hydration pack on. It'll be loaded with ice. Hopefully that'll keep my body temperature down, but I'm definitely not going to push it. So definitely don't want to get injured before August the 8th. It is a Friday. That's when I'm leaving. So, and yeah, I'm getting excited, very excited. So that's going to conclude Jim's Having an episode number 12. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again, believe me, real soon.